Drive Thru. I'm your host, Tony Teams. We bring you guys live here on Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place YouTube channel throughout social media. We'll get you out of here before the top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games. That's what we do here on the Drive Thru, Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Deliver live your picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs Sports Chat Place. Well, we got today Mills with us. No sign of winner Tony Brown today, so it'll be Mills and I today on the show. So let's go ahead and let's say hello to Mills, and we'll get right to the card in the NBA. Mills, what's going on?
Man, how's everybody doing out there, man? No fires burning out here today, so it's definitely a good day.
Yeah, definitely a good day. Yeah, it's good news here from Big Al. So far, missed his house, so he's fortunate there. But still prayers for Big Al out there and everybody out here in SoCal, right around that fire area. So we'll get to it going here with the games tonight. So let's go ahead and let's get to the NBA. Mills here, as I'll go ahead and get our card set to roll here. Let's see how we're gonna. Whoa, I have not had a two screen, so I'm getting used to this two screen here. It's always been three or more. So where are we at here? I got to find the NBA odds here for us here to have it scroll on the bottom. Here we go. So we've got the NBA bottoms. We're ready to roll here. So let's get to the NBA here to start it off here. Joined by Mills here on the show. And, of course, in this block of games, we'll do three at a time. So the first one, we'll start with Pacers and Pistons here. We see the Pacers here favored by a point here. Total sits 228.5. And then we will be covering from the NBA. Our coverage will continue here with Cavaliers and Thunder. The big one tonight on TNT. Thunder 2.5, total 233. Rockets and the Kings. Here we see the Kings here. Kings 4.5, total 224. Let's take a look here at some of these injuries here as we get things rolling. Here, I think we might have missed a game here. I think we're going a little too far with this NBA, but we'll catch it up here. We got in the Indiana-Detroit game, Mathurin out. You know, Jaden Ivey has that broken leg. He'll be out for a while. Phoenix and Washington, Beal, Nurkic, Richards out for Washington. We got Bagley, Sadiq Bey, Brogdon out for Washington. In the Cleveland game, we've got Jerome, Bates, Travers out. Hartenstein, Holmgren, Mitchell out here for OKC. Let me wheel it back a little bit. I think that Kings game will be on the second block, not this block. So we'll wheel it back a little bit here and let you know that we'll cover the Suns, Wizards here, then the Pacers, Pistons, then the Cavs, and Thunder. We start here with Mills.
Man, definitely, man. We got some good games to talk about, man. I was going to say, those three right there, we could go through them all and pretty much, give them out some different props and winners. But I'll start off with this one. The Cavs and the Thunder is definitely going to be a good game. Rematch spot. Thunder thought that they were able to get the win last time out. Nope, Cavs pulled it out. But in that game, Donovan Mitchell only had 11 points. I don't think that's going to happen in this one. His point prop's at 22. And when you put up 11 points against the Thunder, I get it, they're a defensive team. But they ain't that good to hold them down at 11 points. On top of it, last game out, he did put up 30. So I actually think, in here, I like Donovan Mitchell to go over his point prop. And to me, I think the Cavs is actually the best team in the NBA. I think Donovan Mitchell's a sneaky MVP spot as well. And I think we got a great game to watch. I think Shai Alexander is great. The thing is, I just don't think Shai Alexander has that clutch gene, that Jason Tatum thing, that Anthony Edwards, that Donovan Mitchell, that old Damian Lillard. If you need 7 points, what are you going to do? Sometimes I don't see him in the fourth quarter. I could be wrong. He puts up 30 points. But I just don't think he's clutch like those other players. I got to lean in the Cavs in that game. Give me the points with them. Looking at that Washington Wizards game, there's no way I could be, putting my confidence in them with all those points. But one thing that I do like confidence is one shooter on that team who has a lot of it, and that name is Jordan Poole. His point prop's at 22 points. I think he's going to be able to go over that tonight. They're playing against the Phoenix Suns. I was looking for Bradley Beal to be in the lineup. Didn't see his prop shop available on Prize Picks or anywhere, so that makes me think that he's probably not playing in this game. If he is, his point prop
Beal's out.
Going to be out.
Beal's out.
He's out?
Yep.
Okay. See, so yeah, give me Jordan Poole in that game, and the sneaky player prop in that one's going to be Kevin Durant, over 6 rebounds. Earlier on, a year and a half ago, he was averaging about 7 rebounds per game. This year, he hasn't really been doing it, but as of late, he has. So I like him to go over his rebound prop in that spot as well.
There from Mills. Say what do you think about this block here? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the Wizard here plus 11. Wizard 7-3 to this spread at home, facing these bad defensive teams that allow a 46% or greater. Remember, Phoenix is 28th in road defensive efficiency, allow 119 points per 100 possessions, a minus 5.5 net rating for this Suns team on the road. So I'll look at Washington plus the points. Pacers and the Pistons. I'm going to look at the Pistons in this spot. Pistons over the past 5 games, very good shooting from you. Saw what they did to the Knicks there at MSG. That was pretty impressive here in Indiana on the road here. Again, 47% shooting. I'll look at the Detroit there. The big one, the Cavs and the Thunder. OKC for me. OKC's just been too strong at home, covering 12 of their past 17. Look at Cleveland's defensive form. I know they dropped a few games here. They've been poor over their past 5 games, giving up 50% shooting, 38% from 3. I'll look at OKC in this spot. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru as we get ready here for the next series of games from the NBA. Here, joined by Mills today, and we'll get to we'll do NBA, we'll do college hoops, NHL, and I'll have our parlays, and then we get right to the UFC rundown for the big event in LA. And we'll close out the NBA tonight with Rockets and Kings. Mills' Kings favored here, now up to 4.5. This one on TNT, total 224. Clippers and Trailblazers. Clippers still holding 7, total 220. Let's get it back to Mills.
Yeah, man. I'll start off with the Trailblazer game, man. The Clippers is just one of those teams where you really can't trust them, especially with Kawhi Leonard back in the lineup. That means that stuff still isn't figured out. One thing that's been figured out is that lineup for the Portland Trailblazers, okay? They kind of know who's scoring the points and who's not. They're not dependent on Scoop Henderson for nothing. They don't even let him go out there and pass the ball too much. Who they rely on is Anthony Simons to put up points and Shaedon Sharp. DeAndre Ayton, he's just kind of out there going through the motions sometimes. So I actually think that, the Portland Trailblazers should be able to cover that 7.5 points that they're getting. I would take that if I'm looking at a game. Point props, I like Shaedon Sharp to go over his. And then looking at that Kings game, man, the Rockets going to be on a back-to-back, right?
Yeah, I didn't get to the injuries here. Let me get to the injuries here. The Rockets, we have no Jabari Smith. Fred VanVleet is out. Landale's ineffective. He's out. Easton is questionable. On the Kings side, McLaughlin out. Carter questionable. Malik Monk looks probable in that game. Getting back to the Clipper game, no Kawhi Leonard tonight. Trey Mann is questionable. We know Tucker's been out. On the Portland side, no Grant, no Klingham, no Thibault. Avija here, the forward is doubtful. Williams is questionable. So that we got you caught up with the injuries. Back to Mills.
All right, so yeah, that makes sense and why that line's been going up, on the Kings and everything. But still, it's one of those things to where they've been able to win their last 7 games that they played out of the last 9. But in this one, I still think the way that the Houston Rockets play defense, they can give the Sacramento Kings trouble. I still would be looking at the 4.5 with the Houston Rockets. I do like Jalen Green a lot. In his last 5 games, he's been able to go over his point prop. On the opposite side, Keon Ellis, the backup point guard, his point prop's only at 5 points, and Doug Crispy's been giving him at least over 25 minutes per game since he's been in the rotation. And he's hit that point prop at 100% clip out of his last 5 games played. So I would be looking at a sneaky spot on Keon Ellis over 5.5 points in that game as well. And give me the over just to not put my heart into the pick. Because if you ask me, I still think the Houston Rockets could win straight out. But I would probably just lean with the over and think that, both these teams could run up and down the score.
And there from Mills. All right, so when I think about these games here, I like Portland here taking the points. Rest advantage for Portland. They're 7-3 the spread at home against winning teams, so they bring their A game here against winning teams, at least cover-wise. The Clippers are not a very good offensive team away from home. 25th in offensive efficiency away from home, averaging less than 108 points per 100 possessions. They have a -4 net rating away from home. So I'll look at the Blazers in this spot. I like the Kings in this one. Rest advantage here. The Kings have covered 7 of 8. It is a back-to-back and a little shorthanded here for the Rockets defensively. Their numbers still look a little crooked defensively over their past 5. Get a 50% shooting, 41% from 3. We have seen improvement defensively from this Kings team. It's a bonus going crazy on the boards as well. There for Mills.
He put up 28. Yeah, he put up 28 in the game. Just as of late. Yeah, Sabonis actually been showing up with his point prop too. He went over that at an 80% clip in his last 5 games played. And that was the thing. Earlier on in the season, he wasn't giving us 20 points. He was going in and out of the points, not grabbing those rebounds. as of late, he's been going over those 20 points. So that's exactly what the Kings need to keep lighting that beat.
Yeah, that's what your thoughts about the coaching change. Obviously, so far it looks like a positive move for Sacramento.
Well, I mean, if there's anybody who could replace the guy, it would be Doug Christie. He's been there since we had so many other coaches. He's a fundamental. He's like Bobby Jackson to us. So like, and I like it because it gives him a shot. I don't know, man. When it kind of happened, I was just like, wow. Like, if we lose the players, that's the thing. I looked at it like this: if we lose De'Aaron Fox or whoever, at least we like have a reputable coach with a name named Mike Brown, to where players would at least say, "Oh, all right, I guess I might come over there, right?" But you get rid of Mike Brown, and you're like, "Yeah, come on over to Sacramento to play with who? Doug Christie. No, thank you." You know, like that.
Yeah.
Holds no cliche to players who at least played for a Mike Brown's team when he was an assistant or something like that could like vouch for him. So that was the thing I was disappointed in. But to be honest, he didn't preach no defense at all. Doug Christie's been playing defense since he was playing against Kobe. So, you know, that's the difference intensity that you do see out there with the Kings as well. And he can relate to the players. So, you know, I'm all for it, man.
Yeah, from my perspective, he seems to back the players with calls. I have had that conversation before. It just seemed to me Mike Brown didn't work the roughs enough for his guys, and the guys they want you to at least work them for the calls, and that's something Christie right away had his back. I remember that flop against the who was it against when the players flopped, and it was a Golden State game, right? Then Christie was right there backing his guy, and you know, even if you know you're wrong, you still got to back your guys. And what came out after that game? Hey, Christie's got our back. Christie's got our back. What it tells you about the previous coach? Probably didn't have his back when it meant the officiating game, because that's a different game in itself, playing the officials. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru as we'll switch on over to college hoops now. We'll get ready here for the college basketball part of our show. Let's see, I'm going to have to change the two screen here. I think that's where I got to change them here. So let me get back up here to where we're at here in the two screen. And so we will be covering the UFC later on the show here with the Mills. What we're going to be covering right now will be college hoops, and I think I've got it. Let's see here. I've got to get the college. Well, I'll do here in a second. So the games we're going to cover in this block, we're going to cover the games from 6:30 Eastern all the way to 8:30 Eastern. We'll do these in two blocks. We'll start with those two. We'll start it off here with Mills.
All right, man. So give me Hofstra with the points. You know, I think that they'll be able to cover tonight playing Townsend. Besides that, I do like Memphis just to win outright. I don't know if they'll be able to cover the exact 7, but I do think that they'll be able to win against Temple today. And also, give me the over in that game as well. Memphis been hot as late, going over the over. They're 3-1 in the last 4 games, hitting that as well. Those are the two spots that I really kind of looked at earlier on. There's one other spot that I'm looking at. That's the late night spot later on. But yeah, man, I think Memphis is gonna win, and I like Hofstra on the points tonight.
There from Mills, where I say what I think about games here in this spot here just early on. I'll be looking at let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and take Hofstra plus the points. Hofstra is tops in defensive efficiency in the conference right now in CAA, holding teams 30% from 3, 43% inside. Townsend 10th in effective field goal defense. They don't force turnovers, and they don't defend the three-point line very well. Tigers, they don't make their free throws in the conference. Look at the Pride in really good defensive form. We'll take Hofstra plus the points. I'm going to take Minnesota plus the points here. At home, they've held teams to 41% shooting. Wolverine's still a high turnover team in conference, but I think I saw Minnesota cover that Maryland game. I think they got a little fight in them to try to at least push for a win in conference. Not saying they're going to win the game, but I know what they're trying to do is just trying to get over the hump here. So I'll look at them in that spot. I like the under here with Temple and Memphis. Memphis is tops in defensive efficiency in the AAC. They force turnovers, holding teams 20% from 3, 48% inside. They turn the ball over a lot on the offense side. Still, Penny Hardaway just can't seem to fix that in his time there with Memphis. The team turns the ball over. Temple, a really good defensive team in the conference, holding teams to under 30% from 3 and just 41% inside. I like the under in that spot there. I'm going to go also under in High Point and Longwood. Panthers in conference defending, allowing just 42% shooting. Lancers defend well at home. I like the under in that spot. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru as we get ready here for the next series of games. So we're going to close out this block here with the games from 9 Eastern all the way to the midnight game, because we do have We do have Hawaii in action tonight. You can see that Nebraska game coming up here at 9 Eastern time. We've got Maryland and Northwestern going head-to-head here as well. We do have some games featured in the late night. A lot of your West Coast teams, your beach. I don't know if you were a big beach fan growing up in the area. You were, huh? Yeah, there we go.
I just liked them just because they're a local team. But now growing up, I was a big UCLA fan. Just growing up, that the way that logo looked and everything, and the players that they had all throughout their history. Yeah, man, UCLA was definitely the team to watch growing up out there.
Yeah, and of course, Pepperdine and Malibu, they're going to play. They canceled the last game, but they're going to play tonight here. Pepperdine is in Malibu, so they were affected there. Utah Tech, Seattle will be going head-to-head as well. This is one of the bigger games of the night here. Gonzaga at Oregon State, CBS Sports Network. We see Gonzaga 9.5 there. And there is your degenerate game there, Hawaii and Northridge. We got Northridge here, Dogs 3.5 here. I do want to say that Maine was the winner today against NJIT. New Jersey Institute of Technology asked these tech guys to play a game at 11 a.m. Eastern time. And I don't know if you were a tech guy growing up, but I can tell you right now, if you're in tech, there's no way you go to bed no earlier than 3 in the morning. So that was those tech guys, those nerds are usually up till 3, 4 in the morning with their video games, with their program software, and they got to go out and play a game at that 11 a.m. And sure enough, they lose by 12 at home. So there's something to think about there from them. All right, so Mills, from this late slate, what do you got?
All right, man. Give me Maryland, man. I think Maryland's going to be able to win against Northwestern. Give me them straight on the money line as well. And then I'll be looking at Montana. I think they're going to be able to cover and just win straight as well. The money line, they're 3-2 in their last 5 games. They're playing against Weber. Yeah, man. Moni Williams been as advertised, averaging 15 points for him over there at Montana. And you already know. You already spoke on it. Long Beaches. Give me our Long Beaches, man. Yeah, man. You know how it goes whenever they play against San Diego teams. Playing at home, too. Give me the points, and give me the beaches.
Yeah, Mills, the beaches. All right, say what I like in this spot here. I'm going to take Northwestern plus in this one against Maryland. Maryland has yet to win a road game in conference 0-3 straight up, and it's because the defense away from home, Maryland allowing 47% shooting. I'll take Northwestern in this spot. That Nebraska home court's too strong. I'm going to take them. I think I heard a stat today. They're 12-0 at home. I'll lay the points here with Nebraska here. Charlotte Knights, very poor offensive team in conference, 16th in offensive efficiency. Can't make threes, can't make free throws, weak inside. I'll take Nebraska there in that spot. Give me UTEP here plus the points against Liberty. The Miners defending well away from home. This is a team that's shooting the ball well inside in conference, 53%. 76% at the line. They force turnovers and they defend the three-point line very well here. And this is a Liberty team that does not defend and they don't make their free throws. I like UTEP here plus the points. Give me Portland at home against Pacific. Pacific in just horrible defensive form over their past 5 games, giving up 51% shooting. The Pilots defend at home there. Gonzaga, Oregon State. I'll take the points with Oregon State. I know Gonzaga is second in both offensive and defensive efficiency in the WCC, but Oregon State is third, and they're tops in effective field goal shooting in the conference, 37% from 3, 60% inside. They make 80% of their free throws. Strong on the glass. They've covered 9 of 10 at home. I'll take Oregon State there at the plus price. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru as we get ready here to switch over to NHL. I think Mills is going to have some player props for us here from the NHL, but we'll just go ahead and just show you guys the latest odds and goings on here in the NHL for tonight as we'll get back to the odds screen here. What we got here tonight, we got a big card from the NHL. We'll just go ahead and scrub through it. And maybe Mills, as I go through the card, just show the odds on these games. Maybe you can go ahead and just give us your player props here and tonight as we'll just go through these games.
Yeah, looking at the Lightning, man. Lightning going to be playing the Ducks again. Last time they did, I think they got beat by them. I think they're going to be able to be looking for a revenge spot in this one. So that's why I think laying that, puck line on them is going to be warranted in that game right there. And then I'm looking at the Chicago Blackhawks game. They're playing against another bad team. They're playing against the Predators as well. And there, I think we're going to be able to see goals. And one of the guys that I expect to score a goal is going to be Connor Bedard. So I'm going to be looking for him to get at least one goal in that game tonight. And then besides that, the late night game that I really think is as advertised is going to be that Edmonton Oilers taking on the Colorado Avalanche. And what happened last time? Edmonton beat them up 4-1. So in this one, you definitely got you got Avalanche to favor. But I think I'll be looking at the extra pucks with the Oilers in this one. I think they've been playing good as of late too. I want to say they're 4-1 in their last 5 games played. So give me the Oilers in that one. And 2 player props that I like in that game. It's give me my boy Connor McDavid over 3 shots on goal. He's been able to do that in his last 3 games that he played out of his last 6. And then give me Leon Draisaitl. I like him to have a big game today too as well.
There you go from Mills. We got you through the NHL for you. Now it's time to get the parlays out, and then after parlays, we'll get to our UFC rundown that we do with Mills here every Thursday. So let's get to the parlays here on our drive-through show for today. So go ahead, Mills, give us what you got here. Parlays tonight here.
Yo, so I'll start off with the NBA, the association. I like Donovan Mitchell to definitely go over his point prop today. It's only at 22. Like I said, he's taking on OKC. He only had 11 points in that game. And then one other thing that I like, that Detroit and Indiana game, I think that's a close line game because both those teams are playing good as of late. But the point guards are playing good too, man. And Kate Cunningham, he's been putting up his points. And Tyrese Halliburton, he's been putting up his points. So I actually think that Tyrese Halliburton could go over 18.5 points. So my little 2-team parlay is going to be taking Tyrese Halliburton to go over 18 points and taking Donovan Mitchell to go over 22 points. Play those 2 and meet me out the window and let's get paid.
There from Mills. All right, I'll give you my parlays here. I like the Thunder with the Trailblazers and also like Utah Tech plus the points tonight here. All right, Utah Tech tonight. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru. Now it's time to get to our UFC rundown that we do here with Mills on Thursdays as we're heading into the big card tonight here on Saturday. UFC 311 here come from the Intuit Dome in Inglewood, California. What's the wall going to be like there in Inglewood, Mills, on Saturday?
Man, it's going to be crazy, man. They plan on doing something, since they're going to be in the Intuit Dome. They said already since they did some stuff at the Sphere, there was like, look at what we got. They plan on doing something with that big old wall. I don't know what it is. Man, I know this, though. They got about 14 fights on there, and all 13 of them are good. There's only one on there to where I would say, all right, if you missed this one, you're probably okay. But for the average fight fan, you definitely don't want to miss any of these fights, I would say, even starting from the early prelims.
There we go. Ready to roll here into it. Dome. This one on pay-per-view here, ESPN Plus main card. Let's get to it here. We'll look at the division here in the middleweight division. Kevin Holland taking on Reiner de Ridder, Netherlands, U.S. We've got this one very close line here. De Ridder here favored here at $1.12. Total sits here at 1.5.
Yeah, so when you talk about the striking advantage, you got to go with Holland in this one. When you talk about the grappling and submission advantage, you got to look at De Ridder in this spot. De Ridder made his UFC debut last time out against Gerald Meerschaert. He came from the One Championship promotion, 18-2. In that fight, he submitted the guy who has the most submissions in the division. And Kevin Holland, his one weakness is takedowns and submissions. So with that being said, I don't think this fight's going to go to the distance as well. That'd be the best way to play this fight because I do think both these fighters are priced right. You had Kevin Holland, who was once the underdog, once the underdog. Now he's a slight favorite. The line's just flipping back and forth. They don't really know who's going to win. One thing that I could probably bet on is going to be the fight not going the distance.
All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru. Looking at picks from UFC 311 Saturday from the Intuit Dome. All right, here we go. This is your main event lightweight title bout here. Islam Makhachev here from Russia against Armen Serkanyan from Armenia. Russia versus Armenia here. This one we've got the Russian fighter Makhachev, favorites 310, total 4.5. And there's a lot of Armenians and Russians out there in LA. Especially Glendale.
It definitely is. So when they asked him about that, he told them already, like, hey man, I'm gonna have a lot of people out here, just because of that already. So he knows about that. This fight is a rematch. It already happened once, and when it did, Armen Serkanyan was making his UFC debut. He was only 23 years old in that time. It went the whole 3 rounds. Both these guys are talented grapplers. Both these guys improved so much. Makhachev, he's been a guy I've always been able to bet on as a big favorite. Armen Serkanyan is usually a big favorite like Makhachev, to where you always got to parlay him to get paid. You never had opportunity to bet Armen Serkanyan as a plus money underdog. In this one, I do give the finish side upside to Makhachev, but gambling, man. It's just like gambling. You know, it's just like a football game. Y'all really think the Commanders ain't going to lose by more than them points? Yeah, they probably going to lose, but maybe not more by them points. So in this one, just on the odds, I'm going to be looking to bet. I'm on Serkanyan plus like 3.5 points on the rounds because I do think this fight goes to the decision, and I think it's going to be close. So, you know, I do think there could be an upset as well. So me, I'm going to be looking at the dog in that one.
What's the famous fast food chain that's owned by Armenian fast food chain in SoCal?
Man, you got me.
Zanku Chicken. You ever had it?
Oh, okay. No, I've seen it before, though.
Yeah, there you go, Zanku. Very good. I missed it. I thought about that. I was hungry right now. Well, you know, it's almost 4 o'clock here out here, so, you know, thinking about the food. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru as we continue here on our UFC rundown 311. Next up, we will go here to a bantamweight title bout here. We got Georgia versus Russia here. Merab Valashvili here taking on Umar Nurmagomedov here. In this one, we got Nurmagomedov here. It's the challenger here, favorite here, 267, and we see the total 4.5.
All right, so in this one, it's kind of like, you know, Merab Dvalishvili is going to be defending his belt for the first time against a guy who's never fought anybody in the level of Dvalishvili, and you got Nurmagomedov the favorite. A lot of people is probably wondering why. Look at that last name. You know, he's the cousin of Khabib Nurmagomedov. He's been coached by him, trained with him, you know, and he's the next pupil. It's him and Islam Makhachev, the guy that we just talked about. Them two are pretty much the proteges of Khabib Nurmagomedov. And this one, though, man, I think that line's off, man. Me, I've been betting on Merab Dvalishvili way before I've been parlaying Umar Nurmagomedov. So give me Merab Dvalishvili to win and still champion. Get your plus money now.
There from Mills. Let's continue here on the drive-thru here, UFC 311. As we get you ready here for the next fight, we go here light heavyweight bout. 2 contenders, number 2 versus number 3 here. Number 2, Zuri Pojaska from Czechia, going out against Jamal Hill from U.S. In this one, we got Hill, the U.S. fighter, $1.32, total 1.5.
All right, man. You guys got to hop on it now, I guess. You know, I was trying to wait till the weigh-ins and stuff to see. But it was pretty much a pick-em. And now you see who's the favorite, you know. Both these guys been lined up to fight for the last 2 years. But they couldn't. And now they're getting that opportunity. And here, I actually think the over 1.5 could probably get there as well. And I think Yuri Prochazka might give Jamal Hill some problems if he tries to implement a clinch game and keep him up against the cage and maybe take him down. But these are big boys that like to go out there and strike and fight. With that being said, Prochazka leaves himself reckless out there, doesn't have a good striking defense, and I think Jamal Hill could clip him in the second round.
Here we go from Mills. Let's continue here on our UFC rundown as we get ready for the next fight here on this card here. We'll take a look here, and this will be Moicano. Let's see, this one is going off on the pay-per-view card, so we'll find it out right here. Dariush and Moicano. Let's see if I've gotten here. But here we go. It is lightweight bout here, U.S. versus Brazil. Beneil Dariush here, number 9 contender, facing Renato Moicano, number 10 rated here. We've got Moicano here. Favorite $1.62, total 2.5.
So when you look at the two fighters, one fighter definitely is superior than the other, but he's not a favorite. He's actually the underdog in this one. The reason why is because of his last 2 fights, the way that he lost. He got knocked out and it didn't look good. But the people that he lost to are 2 of the best people in the division, Charles Oliveira and Amar Subrian. Moicano, on the other hand, I want to say he's like on a 3-fight win streak, maybe even a 4-fight win streak. And he's been the guy that everybody's been liking on the internet, and he's been showing up and doing what he's supposed to. But then again, it's like the people that he has wins over, 2 of those people, he was pretty much losing until he just got the win in those fights. So it is what it is. I like the dog in this one, man. I think Beneil Dariush could surprise some people. Both these guys are chinny. The best bet is fight not going the distance. So give me the under 2.5 at a -120 and the dog to win.
There from Mills. Let's continue here on our UFC a 311 rundown as we now move on. Looks like we're going to be heading into this one here. Gusoff and Elana are going head-to-head here. ESPN News. So we've got some action here in the prelims. We've got Gusoff here, 346. No total yet in this fight.
Yeah, this one just got put together on short notice. Gusoff has a new opponent. It was supposed to be Johnny Walker. Gusoff is a fighter you really can't trust too much. Only has like 2 or 3 fights in the UFC. Leaves his hands down low. As a -340 favorite, some people might just look at this fight card and say, "Oh yeah, -3-1 favorite. Put him in your parlay. Put him in your parlay." This is what I'm telling you. I ain't putting him in my parlay. He should probably win. I'll give you that, But just trusting a fighter like this at that price tag, I can't. But I think he wins inside the distance.
Yeah, this one ESPN used prelims as we continue here on the prelim side. As we will look at this one here. Let's see, we got Walker, and that was the one that we talked about with the change there. Here we've got a bantamweight fight between Peyton Talbot from the U.S. and Rony Barcelos here from Brazil. We got Talbot, a huge favorite, over $10, 10-1 favorite here in this one, total 1.5.
Yeah, man. Get some plus money. Let's take the under 1.5 in this fight. That price tag is crazy for any fighter right there, especially a fighter with 3 fights. He's explosive, though. He's one of the new generation of the stars that they like, comparing him to Sugar Sean O'Malley and all those fighters. So I do think Peyton Talbot wins inside the distance, around 2 KO.
There from Mills. Continue on here on the UFC rundown with Mills on the drive through here. Heavyweight bout, the big fellas are going at it here. Jalton Almeida here from Brazil against Sergey Spivak from Moldova. We see Almeida favored 495, total 1.5.
Yeah, definitely, man. This one's going to be a good one. I think that line's a little bit off. I do think the favorite wins. I think he can win by ground and pound. I'll take the under in this one as well. Fight not going the distance, but this is one to where if Spivak gets the takedowns, he can keep him Almeida down and might be able to win that way as well. But I just don't like parlaying that as a -500 just because Spivak is actually a good fighter.
There we go. Continue on as we now move on to the early prelims. UFC Fight Pass. This one here in the middleweight division between Zachary Reese, U.S. against Azamat Bekov here, Russia. This one, Reese, big favorite. This one looks like it's canceled now. Looks like they just put the cancellation. There's a late cancellation there, so let's continue on here.
You had the Bekov. You had the name right. You said it right, but it was just the wrong thing on card. But
right.
You said the name.
Right, that's right on name. So what do you got in that one?
So in there is crazy. You got the short notice fighter Azamat stepping up. And he's the favorite now in this one, okay? He's taking on Zachary Reese, who's supposed to be fighting Cedric Dumas. Cedric Dumas actually is a fighter I have an interview with. And, he was supposed to be coming out here to California. He was supposed to be doing some things, but had to pull out the fight. It is what it is. Thanks to him for the hat and everything. All right, so with that, I got to go with the dog, man. Give me Zachary Reese, man. Zachary Reese was the fighter that was supposed to be fighting on this card. I think he can win late rounds because the fighter that he's fighting against does slow down as the fight goes. So, yeah, give me Zachary Reese.
Race there. Continue here on the drive-through as we're looking here at these prelims in the UFC. Here we got Dawson and Fierro. We go to the lightweight division. Grant Dawson, U.S. against Diego Fierro. In this one, we see Dawson 242, total 2.5.
Yeah, this is one where the line's coming down. Grant Dawson was all the way up to a -290. Reason why is because Diego Fierro's birthday is going to be on Saturday, and they always got a saying. The birthday boy usually wins, but he's turning 40. It is what it is, though. I remember Randy Couture winning the championship when he turned 40, but this ain't no Randy Couture. Grant Dawson is a fighter that likes to get his wrestling implemented, but he's taking on an explosive jiu-jitsu player, Diego Ferreira, who actually has the knockout ability too. I like Grant Dawson to win by decision.
There from Mills. Continue here on the prelims, early prelims. These are the fights that are on UFC Fight Pass. Women's bantamweight division has Carol Rosa from Brazil against Aline Perez, Argentina. We got Rosa favorite 240, total 2.5.
So this is a fight right here to where it's tricky for people, and sometimes when I do this, I'm not on the right side, so I hate doing it. So I kind of been back and forth. Rosa struggles with takedowns, okay? And Perez, that's what she does. She gets 5 takedowns per fight, relentless. Doesn't really do anything with it. Rosa's the way better fighter. She opened up -185. She's up to a 240. I think Rosa should be able to win, but my gut is just telling me, like, no, Perez is plus money. She's 3-1 in her last 4 fights, You got a nice plus money price tag. All she has to do is this to win. Start telling myself that's going to happen, right? But nah, man, I think Rosa is still gonna win because she's the better fighter at the end of the night.
And there from Mills. Let's continue here on the UFC rundown as we're looking here at the early prelims here, as we've got one here between Tercios and Spach here on FX. This one FX, we got this one Spach here, 275 total 2.5.
All right, so yeah, this is a fight that was supposed to take place last year. Ricky Turcios, he couldn't make weight in that fight, so they had to take it off the card, put it on this one. And here I think Spach should be able to get the win. Both these guys are kind of up-and-coming fighters that you don't really know too much about. Spach, he got knocked out in his last fight out. He was looking good in that fight until he got knocked out. Ricky Turcios won the Ultimate Fighter before. He's going to be a fighter that's going to be out there in the third round and still trying to get his game plan going. He might lose a round, but he seems like he's like Manny Pacquiao, and it takes him later on in the fight to come on live. I do think Spach gets the job done.
There from Mills. Let's continue here in the bantamweight division here in the early prelims. Nakamura, Japan against Muin Gafurov, Tajikistan. We got Nakamura, big favorite, 556 total 2.5.
Yeah, Nakamura, man, he's a highly accredited wrestler from Japan, and he's explosive, man. He has a lot of wins by KO, so he's not just one of those fighters that could go to wrestling. He relies on other things. He wants to win that way as well. Gafurov is a fighter that not really been able to make his stay in the UFC. He's coming off of winning his last fight, but he's a guy that likes to get the takedowns too. He has a big overhand left he likes to throw, but give me Nakamura to win.
From Mills, let's continue on here in the on the drive-through to UFC 311. Back to the early prelims here with Tagir Bekov again from Russia against Clayton Carpenter, U.S. Looks like this is the one to lead it off here. Bekov, 325 total 2.5.
Bekov is going to be the better fighter. Okay, Clayton Carpenter is an up-and-coming fighter who's 8-0. But this line is just off for me, and it's early on in the card to where I could definitely take a spot to where I actually think the guy can win. He already won for me once, actually twice, Carpenter, that is. So me, I'm taking a shot on the dog, just because, like I said, it's plus 260. So if I lose, it ain't gonna hurt me too much. It's the first fight of the night, and it's just based off of the odds a little bit and the fighting style. Clayton Carpenter is a wrestler that tries to get fighters tired, and Bekov lost to Tim Elliott, who has the same type of fight style as Clayton Carpenter. But on the flip side, Bekov, if he does win, it's probably going to be by submission, but I like the dog in that one.
There from Mills. All right, this was the one earlier that we got through. So we got you through all the prelims here, guys, and it's all early prelims as well as with the main event. Of course, so you can check out Mills over at Pick Dogs YouTube channel. He's a contributor here, and of course you've got your prop shop going on, Mills, as well as your UFC rundown over at the YouTube channel for Pick Dogs.
Yeah, man, the prop shop's dropping daily out there. We're gonna start dropping them the night before, so that way try to give you guys some more ways to get paid. With that being said, though, check out the prop shop daily over here where we reference the Sports Chat Place betting tools. That's something that Milch Wilson believed in. The betting tools, they let you guys know exactly what's lined up. They let you know if your points props are hitting at a 60% clip all the way up to a 100% clip. They let you know what's the best bet from a rebounding prop. They let you know that from player spots. They let you know from team spots. So much more, man. So the betting tools is something I believe in. I just kind of reference my props off them and let me know exactly how they're hitting. So you definitely want to check that out over here. Check out the UFC Bet With Me video. We killed it over here yesterday. Just put that out on the channel. And if you guys want more exclusive picks like this, check us out at Tony Picks too, where we got the UFC fights that go over and under. That's why I specialize just in all the fights to where I say, hey, if it's going to go over and under. Last week, we put money in your pocket. We went 11-3. This week, I'm trying to go perfect.
That's right, guys. So check out Mills here on Pick Dogs over YouTube channel with his prop shop, UFC content as well. And make sure to like, subscribe, set those notifications so be live with us when the plays come out. And of course, tonight I have a best bet on the board from College Hoops as well as a 3-pack. So get on board with me over here at Pick Dogs Premium and get on board with one of my long-term passes. Remember, if you get that 7-day pass, you'll have all my premium plays from NFL and the college football game on Monday here as we're approaching the weekend here. And of course, football not too far away, so that 7-day pass is really good. Match me up with one of your favorite cappers with the 2-point promotion and use that promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off. All right, we'll be back again tomorrow live here at 6 p.m. Eastern time here with the drive-thru. So, guys, make sure you tune in tomorrow. We'll have action for your picks for you from NBA, college hoops, and NHL as well. So make sure you tune in. All right, that's going to do it for the show. We'll be back again tomorrow. Before we go, Mills, got anything to say before we close it out?
Yeah, man, I think them Washington Commanders gonna go ahead and upset some people out there, man. I mean, if they giving you the points, you could take them. But, I mean, hey, man, sprinkle on the money line. Sprinkle back some Skittles and try to get back some M&Ms.
That's right. There you go from Mills. That's going to do it for the show, guys. Going to wake up. Bye, guys. You guys make it